going, people? Welcome back to another live match review. You may be wondering, where's Josh gone? He was literally here whilst the countdown was going on. He's just messaged me saying start without me. So we're going to start the match review now. Josh will be on in a minute. I promise you, he's joining me today. Anyways, welcome back to another match review. Tottenham have beaten Norwich by 3-0. And that's what I'm not supposed to say today. A big 3 points needed. I'm just going to message Josh now saying, how long will you be? Got a view. That's probably Josh watching now, I think. Quick. Well, how quick? A minute? 2 minutes? Because if it's a minute, I might as well wait for him. It's loading now. Okay, you know what? I'll wait for Josh, and then we'll start this match review. Big win today against Norwich. Really needed those 3 points. We're up to 5th place now in the league. Pretty impressive considering how poor we've been this season. But yeah, going well under contact. Right? Oh, Josh is here. One second, I'm just going to add into the stream. Here he is. All right, here he is. What happened?
My thing just disconnected. It always does. Sorry about that. It's just my fault anyway, because I should have set it up earlier.
Yeah. All right. But anyways, here we go. Match review. Tottenham 3-0. Here we are. Obviously, both of us were at the game today, so I'll watch it on. But their match day vlog will be coming out tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Josh, what's your thoughts on that win today?
I thought it was decent. I think the scoreline did kind of flatter us. I think it wasn't. I don't think it was a 3-0 game. But again, good win. To build momentum. I think this week was quite important. Because we needed 6 points if we were going to at least challenge for Champions League. So, yeah, I think Norwich were actually decent today. I think 3-0 was a bit unfair on them. I just think they got quite tired.
I agree. I mean, personally, I believe, basically, like what you said, it was not a 3-0 game. And Norwich did play good football, but the difference between the two teams is that Norwich were toothless going forward and we were good in taking our chances. That was the difference.
And to be fair, before the Morrow goal, I think Pukki had a brilliant chance. Look,
Norwich had two big chances. Yeah, it was literally a minute into the game. If you guys didn't see the game, about a minute and a half, Norwich are breaking out the right-hand side, puts in a low cross. Pukki's literally free in the box, hits it straight at the reach. I'm telling you, I think a better team would have beaten us today. I'm not going to lie. Or maybe a draw, maybe.
Definitely. But still, I think in that second half, I think we got better. And I want to say, by the way, what a fucking goal that was by Mora.
Oh, mate.
It literally, he sends 2 players, and then he gets it back when the player loses it, and then he just whacks it.
He knocks it round one player, and that 1-2 of Song was phenomenal. Yeah. And then that shot,
I was right behind it as well. And I thought when he shot it, he went side net until everyone cheered.
All right.
Because I thought when it went through, I thought it went through side net because how perfectly he hit it and the way it bounced down. It was like, what a goal. And I thought, to be fair, all our goals were quite decent today. I thought Son's was good.
Well, to be fair, Sanchez's goal was a bit. It was a bit of a Brexit
Sanchez's goal was quite funny because he just whacks it.
It was a bit of a Sean Dyche goal, that one.
Yeah, it's like British shells.
But just before we get into our man of the matches and stuff, let's take you through the 2 lineups. So this is how we lined up today. Pretty much the same team that played against Brentford, other than Tanganga and Emerson, was apparently due to illness. And apparently Ivan Toney tested positive for COVID, so hopefully it's nothing to do with that. I mean, you can tell we miss Emerson today. I thought Tanganga had a bad game. What were your thoughts on this performance today?
I thought in that first half he wasn't terrible. I thought he did well. He did all right. I think everyone in that first half wasn't great, but I thought he did all right. I thought second half, I think he got exposed of his pace, and I think
he did, yeah.
And I think that part where Brandon Williams just ran past him, I think kind of shows.
Speaking of Brandon Williams, I thought he was Norwich's best player by a long shot.
Yeah, him and Billy Gilmore, I think, were.
Yeah, Gilmore was good, but Brandon Williams was creating problems down the wing in both the first half and the second half.
And the thing is, and as well, and I'll rate Conte for this because he spotted to take off Tanganga because he saw they were getting too much on that. I think it was left hand side, and
Yeah.
he took off Tanganga and it changed the game completely because he brought Doherty on. And we
Yeah.
looked more fluid when we went forward, which helped.
I thought Doherty was quite good when he came on.
Yeah, he was. I think he was unlucky to not get an assist as well for
that Kane chance.
Yeah, because I think that's a very good save by Krul, who does turn into prime Buffon every time he plays Tottenham.
Yeah, true. But anyway, just before we get on to the Norwich 11, obviously Reguilon played about 15 minutes, so essentially let's leave him out the side 11. How do you think Sessegnon played today?
I thought he was all right. I felt he did quite well marking Max Aarons. Going forward, I mean, he's not as good. I think he's not as good as Reguilon.
Going forward?
Yeah, because I feel like he done stuff where his crosses were quite poor. Whereas Reguilon's crosses, they can be. He knows the thing is when Reguilon puts a good ball into the box, it's a good ball. But I don't know. If
he can cross the ball, Reguilon. We saw that last season.
And I think we've seen that this year as well. I think last two performances, if you don't count today, have been really good from him. And I think that gave him a lot of confidence. And you could see that in the first 15 minutes. Like he had a lot of confidence. And I think,
personally, my thoughts on Sessegnon. I thought we had a good game. He was better in the first half, but I think it was kind of a rush of blood when he got to the final third. He kind of shit himself a little bit.
Yeah, which I mean, I think that will come under Conte. I think that will improve. And I think with more games and more experience, I think that will help Sessegnon because he's still young.
Yeah,
he's still quite good for us. And I think it's good having two young fullbacks as well. I think for us. Because as well, but I thought he was all right. I felt Max Aarons being one of Norwich's best players. I think is quite underrated. I actually think he dealt with him very well in that game.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a decent performance from Sessegnon. So I thought he played all right.
Yeah, but this was the Norwich team today. Tim Krul in goal. Norwich played a back five today. Not really surprised because they need the points to stay up. Back five with Brandon Williams, who I thought was their best player. Gibson, Hanley. I can't read that name. Omar Bamidele. And Max Aarons. Middle three of Leeds Malou, McLean and Billy Gilmore. And then a front to Pookie and Ida. Both strikers had big chances.
I thought they were quite poor actually. I thought, especially Ida. I feel Ida was a bit shit. I think he gave the Barrier ball a lot.
Yeah, he was really poor, Ida.
I think Pookie was as well. I don't think he was as bad as Ida though. I think that's.
I just don't think like apart from that chance, I just didn't see Pookie getting into the game whatsoever. He's usually
I saw him touch the ball is when we were on the counter attack and he fouled Kane. I think that's the only time I saw Pookie on the ball. I thought, to be fair, that midfield wasn't bad today. I thought they did cause us problems at points. I thought Gilmore was decent, but I feel like without Skip today, we might have had a problem there.
Maybe, I agree with that.
And I think as well, and I said this, I think we saw it in Leeds, and I go on because Skip is such an important player for us because against Leeds, right, we couldn't keep hold of the ball in that first half because we missed Skip. And we see when we give it away, we can't win it back. And we saw the beginning of the season with Nuno. Basically, Skip is so integral in that midfield because we'll lose it and then he'll win it back like that and then we'll counter. And I think
Skip and Højbjerg, both of them are so good at winning the ball back and retrieving possession, which is so good to see.
Yeah, true. But I think Skip's better in that deep line role. I think deeper, and then Højbjerg is a box-to-box kind of.
Yeah.
Because I think Højbjerg has a goal in him as well, so that could.
Yeah. Right. Anyways, let's get on to some player ratings. Let's start with Hugo Lloris. I thought he made a couple of important saves today. I thought the Pookie chance.
I thought he came out off his line. I think he did well. I think Hugo's actually been very good this year. I think he's been good. I mean, we kind of need to apologise because when we started this, we were saying, we need to sell him in the summer, this and this. After the West Ham and Man City game.
I think it was mainly due to his age though. He was getting old, wasn't he?
Yeah, and we thought, no, he needs to go because he's just making mistake after mistake. But ever since then, really, he's actually kicked on and he's been really good. And hopefully, and I mean this, we could keep him for a year or two more, at least as a backup because I think he's very underrated. I think he's had a very good career And I think if he was at any other top 6 club, he'd be regarded as one of the best goalkeepers of the Premier League.
Oh, easily, yeah.
And I think he's so underrated because it's Tottenham.
Basically,
Tottenham are traditionally a very good defensive team, so he's not very but he's been world class for us, and I think he's one of our best players. But today, I thought he was good. I thought he came off his line a couple of times.
He did, yeah.
I think that save in the first minute was very crucial. Obviously, because we don't know how the game could have went, because Norwich would have had the momentum. We would have been flat off. But I would probably give Lloris, I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, I was going to say 7 out of 10. I mean, that save in the first minute, it's good, but it's one he should be making. Came off his line a couple of times, didn't do anything wrong. 7 out of 10, respectable. All right, moving on to defence. I say let's leave out Reguilon for this one because he basically didn't play 15 minutes really, around 15 minutes. So let's just say Sessegnon's reign instead.
All right. I'd probably give Sessegnon. I'd probably give him 7.5. I thought he was quite good today. I felt he dealt with certain situations quite well. I felt, as I said before, he dealt with Max Aarons on the right-hand side very well because he basically stopped the play from there. So I'd probably give him, 7. Because I think physically he was quite good. But like you said, he shit himself in the final third, which I think will come. I think he will get better, especially with how Conte likes his fullbacks. He'll train him because I think Conte's a world-class manager. He'll see that in him. So I don't think that's a concern. But yeah, I'd say a 7. Although I hope that he doesn't play against Liverpool because he will get absolutely raped by Salah. Oh, so Max is left.
Yeah, I'm back. Oh my god.
He's going back.
Yeah, I'm back. Oh my god. Right, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
Alright, cool. Let's carry on.
Alright, so I was saying about Sessegnon, I don't want him to play against Liverpool because Salah will tear his arsehole into 2 pieces. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, I don't know. I haven't really seen. I think Reguilon came out and said he hopes to be back in a few weeks. So...
I'm pretty sure he said a few days, no?
He said a few. Let me look at it because I saw on Twitter, but I don't.
I'm almost certain it was a few days.
If he's out for a few days, he'll miss Ren, but he may miss Brian as well.
That's calm.
Yeah, because to be honest with you guys, we'll talk about it later. But the Ren game is not something I'm big about us to win.
What did you give Sessegnon out of 10?
I'll be back. A 7. But yeah, update. He did say I'll be back in a few days. Don't sell me on Fantasy Premier League.
There we go.
On his story on Instagram. So it doesn't seem to be as big. So hopefully
I was gonna say Sessegnon 7 out of 10 as well. I thought first half he was better, but shit himself. He got to the final third. But I thought in terms of his build-up play, didn't do anything wrong. Pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that will come obviously, like I said, with Conte. So it's not a big deal. But yeah, I think I agree. I'll give him a 7 out of 10 as well.
Okay. Alright, moving on to the first centre back. To start with Ben Davies.
I mean, for the third goal, I just want to say he did all of a sudden change into Ben Davies Dier. But yeah.
So shit.
I know. But, yeah, Daddy Davis again. I think he's actually been immense since
he's
come in. I think every game except I'd say Leeds he was average. I don't think he did anything wrong, but it wasn't the greatest. But I actually think he's been very, very good in basically every game. So I'd give Davis today, I think, an 8. Because I think him and 2 other centre-backs kept it quite compact and conceded rarely any chances or clear-cut chances. Which, I mean, I know it's Norwich, but still it's very good to only concede 2 chances. So, yeah, I'd give Davis an 8.
Yeah, I thought he had a pretty good game overall. But I think against Brentford he was better. Like I know he got an assist today, but I think Brentford he was immense as well. I just can't decide between the two performances which one he was better in. So I'm just gonna give him a 7 again. Same assist. Both were equally as good.
I think a 7's a bit harsh. I think he was good enough to be an 8 in both of those games. I think a 7's a bit harsh.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's a bit too low. Because I think he did well. I think attacking wise. But the only problem he had was I think he should have taken on the fullback more.
Yeah, that's what I
thought. Because there were certain times where he was like, he didn't really go forward as much, where he should have just took on the fullback and caused problems.
Yeah.
Which I mean, yeah, but I'm gonna ask you this: would you replace Davis in the summer or January? Like, would you replace him for next season?
No.
At all? No. You wouldn't.
Not at all, because number one, I think he's a good backup. And number two, he's doing well with the Conte in the centre back position. Why list him?
True, but I mean, we can get someone better on that left-hand side.
Yeah, we can. We definitely can. But like I said just now, he's a good backup. You might as well keep him.
True. I mean, I would look at probably a centre back next summer. But I don't think that's our main priority. I think striker and midfield is very...
Our main priority is a creative midfielder. We still haven't replaced Eriksen.
But I think as well we'll deal with that in January. I think because we badly need that now. And I think Conte's been promised investment. And I think he'll look at a creative midfielder and be like, I need that right now. Even if we get like a player on a loan, like Coutinho, for example, that will at least sort us out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So, moving on to Eric Dier.
We've got Dier, yeah. Once again, solid game.
Yeah. I think this year, Dier's been one of our best players, arguably our best.
Yeah.
I think he's been
I said that myself
on the page.
And quite a few people agreed with me.
Yeah, it's mad to think. If you told me this last season that Sanchez and Dier would be arguably our two best players, I would have laughed in your face. But they have. You could put them in regard for our two best players this season. I think he had one iffy performance against Arsenal, Dier, but I thought everything else he's been very good. And maybe Newcastle, but I thought he was all right in that game. I don't think he's bad except from the own goal.
I'd say the only bad game Eric Dier's had this season was Arsenal away. Other than that, I can't think of a bad league game which he was bad at.
Yeah, but I mean, I think as well he's very important in that system because I think he's a leader, and I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Because I saw today, for example, I think Tanganga took down a player when we were about to win the ball back for now. I think it was Brandon Williams where he pushed him in his face. And Dier went over to him and Dier shouted at him saying, "Why would you do that? Because we're about to win the ball back." And I like that because I don't think we have many players that do that. And we saw it as well in the documentary. He confronts players. Like, when Deddy was struck, I think when we lost to Wolves, he had
the whole Deddy thing.
And they're supposed to be quite good friends, isn't it? So I think Dier is a leader. And I think behind Hugo, he's probably the best leader on the pitch.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion.
No. I'll say him and Højbjerg.
Yeah, well, I mean, we haven't seen what Højbjerg's like, obviously, personally up close, but we see more of Dier. But I'd say today as well. I think Dier kept Pukki and Ada quiet, and I think I'm going to give Dier a solid. I think he had a solid performance again. I'll give him an 8.
Yeah. I'm giving him a 7 because he was sloppy after the third goal. It's sloppy towards the end in terms of his passing and stuff, especially in the first half. He made a couple risky passes as well, but overall, like I said, he had a pretty good game.
Yeah, I think Conte's actually. You can see certain things on the training ground, especially with Dier. He does long balls a lot more, and you can tell because when the width of the midfield is quite open and the centre backs aren't close to the striker, he seems to play long balls, especially to the fullbacks, like quite quickly. And I think I think they've trained that on the training pitch. Because that's what Dier played in midfield because he can somewhat make a defence splitting pass because he's very good at like punting the ball long.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing, I think, for a defender to have. And I think that's why I think Conte likes him. But yeah, I'll give Dier an 8. And then, who do you want to do, Sanchez next?
Yeah, let's do Sanchez. I'll give him... I don't know.
Do you know what?
Personally, because...
I think. Do you know what? I had doubts over him after those last 2 games. And
Yeah,
I thought Brentford, he was a bit iffy. I thought Moura, he was the worst player on the pitch. I think reason why we lost, to be honest, but I think one of the main reasons. But I think today he showed again. It was immense. I think Sanchez was brilliant today. I think the goal, it was a bit lucky because it deflected off 2 people. But even defensively, I think there was a point where they looked really threatening. I think someone gave the ball away. They looked really threatening. Adam Maida was running down, and Sanchez was there. And what he'd normally do last season was show him onto the wing, but he showed him down the line and blocked him. And that's what he's done this season. And I like that in Sanchez because he seems to concentrate more, or he seems to be concentrating more.
Yeah. You know what? I've always said Sanchez is a bit of a reckless player. But this season, like his timing of tackles and headers has been so much better.
Yeah, it has, and I think as well, he's kind of a shithouse for us in a way, because what he'll do is that in the last couple of minutes of the game, to win the ball back, he'll just take out the player. And I love that because I think Sanchez is just physical. He will just take you out, and I think teams hate that because I think if you're in like a cold, rainy night, like Sanchez will just wipe you out. It will sway the game for us. Like I think he's very good, and I thought today, I think our defense is really solid. But I think he was the best one, and he took his goal quite well, to be fair. Even though it was quite lucky, and I think I love how he whacked it as well. It's just shit house.
He just twats it in.
Yeah. And I thought he was very good today. So I'm probably give Sanchez because he scored the goal. That I think at the time Norwich were like dominating, and I think they were getting into the game a lot more. So that goal was quite key, and I think maybe it swung the game. We don't know, but I'd probably give Sanchez a 9 because he scored that goal.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8.
Alright.
8 out of 10. But yeah, let's move on to who was right wing back? Oh, it's Tanganga. Who would you give him?
I thought, listen, I rate Tanganga, but I thought today wasn't his best day. I thought he was sloppy at times, especially in that second half. He was poor, and I think Conte taking off was right, but I have to say, right wing back won't work with Tanganga. I think under Conte I think he's going to be a right-sided centre back, and I think because he doesn't have the pace. I think if Tanganga had the pace, he'd be easily a right wing back. But I think you saw today he got exposed by Brandon Williams at certain times because he just knocked the ball past him and crossed it. And it was a danger because they were dominating at one point, and like Tanganga should have won the ball, but he just couldn't catch up. But I think as well, like he was good at the beginning of the season, right? But I think something happened. He got dropped, so all the momentum went out of him. But I feel he's, I don't know. I think he's going to be converted into a centre back, because I think in the modern game, especially, I don't think he's a good enough right back, if you get what I mean. Because I think right backs now, especially these days, have to be all round brilliant players. Like they have to be good technically, they have to be good defensively, they have to be good attacking wise. The end product has to be very good. I think he's very good defensively, and I think he's very good physically, but I don't think he has the technical ability and the end products.
Yeah, true. I agree. I mean, like last season, or a couple of seasons ago, that Tanganga used to take off. But today and overall this season, he hasn't really been doing it. Well, to be fair, it's Man City he did it. But after that red card against Palace, he just hasn't been the same player. And I'm pretty sure you could pat me on this. Was our worst player today? got.
Yeah, I think he was, but then again, saying that, I feel there wasn't that many bad players. But I feel maybe that Palace game knocked his momentum. But I still think he's young. He's got oh,
Big win.
he's young. He's got time to improve. Win by Sonny N. But yeah, I feel he'll improve a lot. I don't think we need to panic right now. I just think he got played that position today, so I'll give him a 5. I'll give him a 5.
Yeah, I'll give him a 5 as well. Got tormented by Brandon Williams. Didn't really offer anything going forward either.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on to the midfield now. Starting off with Oliver Skip. I'd say alongside Lucas Moura, our best player on the pitch. Won the ball back immensely. Nothing wrong with his passing. I'm pretty sure his first half stats was 100% passing accuracy and 100% and I think it was something like 100% duels completed or something in the first half.
Yeah, I thought someone called him like the Hemsworth Busquets, which I mean was quite funny. But yeah, I feel he's been. I feel like he's been I think he's been arguably our best player this year. I think maybe our best player, alongside Dier. I think he's made such a big difference this year, and I think he's one of our key players because I think behind Son and Kane, I think he, in my opinion, is the key player.
Yeah.
And I think overall, he's just Oliver Skip is just a baller.
I'm pretty sure twice in that second half, the way he won the ball back with the slide tackle was just unbelievable.
Yeah. And I feel rival fans underrate him because he played for Norwich, or like they underrate him because I don't think they see, or they just don't watch us because he's been incredible, especially as a CDM.
I mean, rival fans rival fans pretend like they don't know who he is.
Yeah, and he's been. I think against Arsenal, I think he came on, for example, in that game, and we looked a lot more solid.
Yeah.
I think we did because I think we were struggling because I think that game. I don't want to go into it because it was just Nuno tactics, kind of the reason why we lost, but that heavily. But yeah, I think today, brilliant once again. I feel like he's had iffy games. I feel against United he wasn't good. I think that was his worst game in a Tottenham shirt. And against, I'd say, who else was he not great against? I thought Burnley away wasn't great in the Carabao Cup. I'd say those are the only 2 games where I think he was quite poor.
Yeah, there's this one other game I'm trying to think of. It's going to bug me, but I know he was really poor.
Was it? I think Palace he was all right.
Chelsea.
Nah, he didn't play against Chelsea, innit? He didn't start.
Did he?
Hoiberg.
Oh, I don't know then. No, I don't know. I have no clue. But I guess that just proves how consistent Oliver Skip's been this season.
Yeah.
And what would you give him out of 10?
Give Oliver Skip solid. I'd probably say 8.5.
I'll give him a 9 out of 10. Excellent today. Did nothing wrong. Moved the ball well. Excellent.
Yeah.
Did nothing wrong. Moved the ball well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I think, okay, so do you want to go on to Højbjerg next?
Yeah, let's go on to Højbjerg.
The Danish, I think.
I'll give him 8. 8 out of 10.
Oh. 8 out of 10. I thought he was alright. I don't think he was.
Actually, wait, no.
Sometimes, yeah.
I think 8's a bit too generous. I think 8's generous. I don't think he was fantastic. You know what? I'll say 7 out of 10. Same as Dier and all them lots.
I'd agree. I feel like they were better than him because I think there were certain points in the game where he slowed us down sometimes, because I think his passing was a little bit off today. His positioning as well wasn't the greatest, but they didn't really go in our midfield for some odd reason, because that has been one of our weak points. But yeah, I'd probably give him a 7, same as you, because I feel like there were times where he could have made a pass, or he made a pass too early. But yeah, I think Højbjerg, 7 out of 10 for me. I feel like there were points in the game. I think there was one point where I think we were attacking and he tried to turn for some odd reason and he lost the ball. But he did well to get the ball back, but then he lost it again, which kind of summed up his performance. Because he had decent spells, but he just, I don't know, his passing was a little bit off today. So I think he had an alright game overall. But I'll give him a 7. But at the end of the day, it's Højbjerg.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how he plays, because I think Højbjerg, don't get me wrong, I love Højbjerg, but I feel like he's not a class midfielder, but he's a good midfielder for us. But I think we can improve in general.
Oh yeah, easily. I mean.
But he's a very, very
this
good
game again.
option.
This game shows that Højbjerg's a great tackler, but he's not a creative player, and that just proves me a creative player in January. Yes, I know we scored 3 goals today, but that was against a Norwich team who are struggling for relegation and survival this season. Like I know it's still early into the season.
Yeah, wait, I need to do something, so just speak in it.
Yeah.
Right
here?
Yeah, I'm here. What you saying?
Alright, yeah, okay. Yes, as I was saying, we do need a creative player in January. Højbjerg's not it. He's a great tackler, but he's not a creative player whatsoever. We still haven't replaced Ericsson. The sales is not good enough. He gets injured all the time. End on big balls is lazy.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But yeah, I'd say Højbjerg 7 out of 10. He was fine.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. Anyway, moving on to Lucas Moura. Ronaldinho. But yeah, I thought very, very, very good
Samba
today.
Diande.
I thought today, best player on the pitch, easily. He was. Oh, someone's lagging. So yeah, I thought best player, as we wait for Max. I think he was our best player today. I feel his goal, he took it brilliantly. I think he's got so much confidence going into this season. I feel like he's been brilliant. I think there was a moment where he was dropped for a little bit, but I feel I say Skip and Dier are the 2 best players. I think he's definitely up there. So I'm going to give Moura I think if I'm going to give Sanchez now, I think I'll give him 9.5. I think that goal was top quality. I think that's his first goal in the league as well, so he's needed that in a while. But yeah, I think in Conte's improved him so much, because I've already seen under him he's getting a couple goals which he kind of lacked. He's playing at that cam position, which I've been screaming out for as well for ages. I think we all have since March, February, where he was arguably our best player at the beginning of the year and in last season. So playing in that cam role is big for him in my opinion. So I'll probably give him 9.5 out of 10. Wait until Max comes back, but I'll just go into the other players. So for okay, he's back. We'll talk about more of that. Let me just add him to live stream if I can. Yeah, there you go.
Alright, can you hear me?
Alright. Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah, sorry lads about the technical difficulties today. But yeah.
Okay, so who are we rated?
I gave Moura a 9.5.
Yeah, I was going to give Lucas a 9 as well. I think him and Skip were equally as good as each other.
And I was saying also, me and you have been crying out for him to play in that cam position. Especially with Nuno's 4-2-3-1. He, like, playing at cam, like, Mora is just way better because he can get on the ball more, he can dribble more, he has more space, he doesn't have to kind of cut in, which is not his biggest strength. And I feel like Conte's seen that and he's like, right, you play cam. And he's been immense with Conte. I think even at the beginning of the season, he was really good.
That first half performance was unbelievable. Like, it wasn't just the goal. I mean, to be fair, let's say the goal was incredible. One of the best I've seen this season, obviously. Probably our goal of the season so far, no. But other than that, I thought his first half performance was still exceptional. And the most strange thing about Moore is that he drives at players and takes them on, which is something that we've been missing our whole season.
Yeah, and I think under Conte especially, he's improved so much. You can see, or Conte's playing him in a different role that Lucas is thriving in. And I don't know if you've seen, but we've been linked with other players, like younger players and more. But right now, why would we want to replace him? Because he's playing at a brilliant level. Like, if he keeps this up, then I feel a player like Ousmane Dembele, I don't think he starts at Tottenham.
No, he's too injury prone. There's no way I'd take Dembele.
Honestly, I wouldn't take Ousmane Dembele, but that's another date for for another video. But I feel today, Mora, immense. I'm gonna give him 9.5. He's been brilliant under Conte, same as Davis. I think behind Davis and him have been our two best players with Conte. So yeah, and then moving on to Harry Payne. What would you rate him? I mean,
it's a hard one. Because
I honestly, last couple of games, I don't think he's been terrible. But I think because of how high his standards are, that I feel like, and how bad he's doing stats-wise, like with goals and assists, there are people who are saying he's playing bad. But overall, he's not playing terribly. Because if this was Carlos Vinicius, we'd be saying he's playing really well.
That's what I said. That's why I said it's such a tough decision as to what score to give him. Because overall, I thought his hold-up play again was good compared to Nuno's.
Yeah.
Compared to Nuno. But again, he had a couple of chances which he should have taken, and that's why I'm going to give him a 6.5. I mean, the first half, that chip. Like,
literally, all he had to do, right? All he had to do, right, was take it down the line and try and fire it near post at Krill, and he would have a good chance of scoring.
Yeah.
That's all he had to do. But I feel when Kane gets his goal, right, or is a very good game, and I thought this was going to happen with the Newcastle game, that he'd go on a run of games where he just scores. I think that will still happen. I think maybe second half of the season he might all of a sudden become very good again. But I feel you can tell he's not playing. He's playing similar to how he did last year. He's just not getting the goals and assists. Because I feel he's getting I think he's been very unlucky in my opinion. I feel like he's just not getting the luck. Like, he's had shots where I feel like the one against Brentford he should have just took it first time. I think today showed he didn't really have that much confidence, because if he did, he probably would have thought psychologically.
I thought reminiscent to the hold-up play was couldn't score a goal.
Yeah, like I think against Leeds, I think he was decent against Leeds. I don't think he was that bad. I think that's probably been his best performance this season, behind Newcastle against Leeds, because I don't think he's terrible that game, but I feel like he just needs to take his chances, and I think when he gets that goal, I think he'll start to play well again. Like, even if it is, right, a penalty, or it's a tap-in, or it's like one off the crossbar, even if it's a banger, I still think that will be so big for him. But he needs to have a game where he gets a goal and an assist, or 2 assists, and then he'll start firing again.
Right now, the only team is Harry Kane in form. Once Harry Kane gets in form, this team's going to be a threat.
We have a friendly chance. But I'm gonna say, would you sell Kane in the summer if he keeps up this form, or how he's playing?
last summer we should have sold Kane. And I said this to my dad at the start of the summer: if we don't sell Kane this transfer window, we're never going to sell it.
Yeah.
I just can't see him going.
And I feel like as well now, I feel like he'd want to stay because I think with Conte, especially if he backs Conte, I think he'll feel, right, I'm in this project. Maybe that will bring goals because we don't know, right, what the problem is. I think, honestly, like, we don't know why he's playing this bad. It could be because he's lacking in confidence. But then again, he's playing for England and he's banging in the goals, which is weird. I know they're farmers, right? And I know they're not great teams, but he's still playing really well. And maybe he's not putting that effort in, but I don't know, it's weird. I think, does he still want that? I don't think he wants that move away that much. But I don't know. I just don't know. Because I feel like if he starts banging in goals next season, when we've backed Conte, or we have, then it'll kind of show maybe he did want to leave. And he felt the club was beginning, but something changed his mind in the summer. So, I don't know. I honestly, for me, I think if we're going to progress as a club, I think Kane's 29 now? If we can get 100 million for him, that would be really good. I don't think we will if he carries on how he's playing this season.
He won't. His price tag's going to go down massively.
Yeah. I feel Levy's going to say, I want him 100 million or he's not going. I feel like that's the only way he'll sell him.
Last season, 140 mil.
Yeah, but then I would have honestly done that. I think 100 mil for Kane was... I think 140 million is probably overpricing him, but I think Levy's only going to sell him for 100 million or more because of how good he is and how tight a bastard Levy is. But if I was honestly, I'd pull out for 100 and get someone like a younger striker, like the guy at Fiorentina, for example.
Looking at the form Kane's right now, I'll happily take. That's a good price.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll get that. So I think he will stay either way next summer. But I'm not concerned about his form because it's Harry Kane. But if this carries on until February, then I'll start to get concerned. Because maybe I feel like, I don't know, it's weird because I feel we're not in that situation yet where we can judge in the summer, do we sell him or not? I feel. But honestly, I feel like he's getting older. If we can get 100 mil for him, just accept it and then get someone else and rebuild because that's what we need to do right now. And I think that money will help. But yeah, I'm going to give Kane, after all of that,
what would you give Kane out of 10 today?
6 as well.
What would you give Kane out of 10? 6 out of 10? 6 out of 10?
6, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him 6.5. Because I thought, pretty much as I said earlier, his reminiscence of Brentford, his hold-up play was fine. Just couldn't get the goal. He didn't do anything wrong. Okay, but moving on to the final player, we've been on here for 43 minutes talking about the fact that we need to sign a midfielder and that. But Heung-min Son got his goal, but I thought he was quite poor to it.
Yeah, I agree with that actually. I thought Son was poor. I felt like him and Kane weren't really at the pace, especially in that first half. I felt like they were a bit lazy and didn't press as much.
That's quite worrying.
I don't know. I don't think it is. I feel Son's the type of player, right, where he can have a bad game but still score a goal. Same with Kane. I think they're both brilliant players and they can do that. So I feel anyway. Son for me. I feel like he had a good performance, especially in that second half. I feel like the way he did, like, he was passing the ball, like, and technically he was alright today. I felt his, like, dribbling was alright. I just felt like he was a bit off the pace and he could have maybe made a bit more of an effort. But I'm just going to say, the goal, like, even though Ben Davies and Skip are the main reasons why that goal was so good, but the way he just, like, dribbles past the players, and it's
it was a good
goal to score, I feel. And he just showed his class. Yeah, because he has to do a lot of work still to score it. And I know it's Norwich, right? But I feel this week especially, Son hasn't been on the greatest form if you take out this week. He's been alright, but he hasn't scored too many goals. And I thought that might be pivotal this week especially. It'll give him more confidence. And I think going into Brighton and Liverpool, and he'll be one of our main threats, I feel. So he needs that form. So honestly, I'm happy for Son. But yeah, I'm gonna give him. I'll give Son a 7.5.
I was gonna say same as Kane. 6.5.
Oh, 6.5. I feel that's harsh because I think he did more than Kane. Honestly, scoring that goal.
Personally, I think Kane did a bit more than Son, but the reason I'm giving him the same as Son is because Son got his goal. But both were poor.
I feel that's a bit. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I mean, I do you know what? I agree with you, but I think Son getting his goal was quite big. But yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, just before we finish off this video, who's your man of the match?
More.
Lucas Moore. Yeah, I'll say Lucas Moore as well, but Skip's definitely up there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I think we're going to finish off here. Thank you guys for watching this match preview, not preview, review. We've sat here for 47 minutes talking about Spurs against Norwich, so we are clearly bored. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching the match able to go back tomorrow, and we shall see you next time. I've got to end the ball. All right. Thank you guys for watching. As long as it ends me in the actual broadcast.